Namaskar. Hello and welcome to 𝙒𝙧𝙤𝙪 channel. I'm your host Sri Iyer. Joining me today is Shekhar Iyer as we take a quick look around the country. What are the opposition moves? And I also have a new breaking story that I'll share. But first, let's welcome Sri Shekhar Iyer. Shekhar ji, Namaskar and welcome to 𝙒𝙧𝙤𝙪 channel.
Namaskar, Sher ji, Namaskar.
Shekhar Iyer ji, first I would like you to start with the Sonia Gandhi story. And then I will add some new breaking information from Karnataka. Very disturbing. Please go ahead, sir.
Well, we hear that when Sonia Gandhi was in Bengaluru for this launch of the opposition alliance with a new name, that is 𝑖.N.D.I.A, and again a dot if we have to say 5 dots. It seems the Karnataka Chief Minister 𝙤𝙬𝙤 made a proposal which she did not immediately respond, but she may not refuse, which is he asked her to contest the Rajya Sabha elections from Karnataka. 4 seats are falling vacant in April of 2024, and Congress can win 3 seats. And 𝙤𝙬𝙤 suggested to her that she should, give him the honor of announcing that she will be the candidate from Karnataka. Now, Karnataka, of course, this is very far off. There are more than, it's April of 2024, so nothing is in a hurry now. But I think this has caused a lot of, I must say, excitement in the Karnataka Congress as well as in the AICC. The basic idea is there is a big question mark as to whether Rahul Gandhi will contest the Lok Sabha elections. Will he get the relief that he is looking for from the Supreme Court? And whether Priyanka Gandhi would like to contest from Uttar Pradesh or any other constituency. And if Sonia has been saying that she doesn't want to take the din and bustle of another Lok Sabha electioneering, and there is another advantage in this, because if she gets, since it's going to be a smooth affair and there are no problems with numbers for Congress in Karnataka, if she gets elected, then she can get to retain the 10 Janpath, because that is a house she has been occupying since 1989, when Rajiv Gandhi became the leader of the opposition with a cabinet rank. So since 89, they have been staying in that house, and the whole, I think, it has been all thought of by the party leaders that if she could move in there, then she need not worry in case of if she contests Rae Bareli and loses elections, or if she doesn't want to contest Lok Sabha elections, she can retain the house. Because if Priyanka Gandhi were to contest the Rae Bareli seat, once Sonia Gandhi decides to move into upper house, assuming that she gets elected, though it's going to be a very, very tough challenge for Priyanka to get elected from Uttar Pradesh in this Lok Sabha elections of 2024. But as a first timer, she may not get that 10 Janpath house allotted to her, because that's a huge house meant for all senior people. I mean, the parliamentarians who have done 4 terms or 5 terms, and Sonia Gandhi has done 5 terms there. So she's a 5-time MP. So the whole thing is that what has happened is, with Rahul Gandhi losing his seat, he was disqualified. So he had given up that 12 Tughlaq Crescent. And Priyanka Gandhi had to vacate the 34 Lodi estate last year, July, because the government was asking her to pay the full market rent, and she wanted to show that she's not depending on on this government for the accommodation. This accommodation in Lodi estate was given to Priyanka Gandhi in 97, and that time she was not holding any position. Like, at least now she is a General Secretary, but it was given on the grounds of security when there was a government of Deve Gowda supported by the Congress. And the other name that we are hearing from the Congress who could get elected to the Rajya Sabha is a young Congress spokesperson with a very aggressive spokesperson, that is Supriya Srinath. And I'm told because Priyanka also likes her a lot, and Rahul Gandhi also wants her in the parliament. Of course, the big question is, where will the Rahul Gandhi contest from if he gets relief from Supreme Court? Again, the hearing is to continue next month on the Rahul Gandhi's plea for staying the conviction of that Surat court which was upheld by Gujarat High Court. So will he get relief? If he gets relief, then perhaps things can be different. Suppose even the conviction is not stayed, because we are not seeing any relief, immediate relief coming from Supreme Court unless something happens when the matter is taken up on August 4th as to staying that defamation case in which he was awarded full 2 years, and that resulted in his losing that Lok Sabha seat. Now, I think the Election Commission may be waiting for a few more days, at least, to see if there is anything happening in the Supreme Court in this case. Otherwise, they would go ahead and announce in fresh elections to Wayanad, the constituency Rahul Gandhi represented from Kerala. Now, if that happens, then who is going to be the Congress candidate from Wayanad? Will Priyanka Gandhi try her luck? Of course, I am told by Kerala Congress leaders that Wayanad is no problem, though Pinarayi Vijayan is very keen on CPM getting back that seat, winning that seat again. So it's going to be very, very interesting times. In fact, the matter of another 2-3 weeks, we will get to know when the Election Commission is ordering fresh elections, because a constituency, a Lok Sabha constituency, cannot be left unrepresented for more than 6 months from the time of the vacancy was created. In this case, this was March, sometime in the third week of March, or the last week, I think 24th, 23rd or 24th, when the verdict came and Rahul, lost that seat. He was disqualified and he had to lose that seat. So the elections maybe, it had to be held by September, say mid-September. Then they could perhaps hold it in the late August. There is a good possibility to the elections. So it's a call that Election Commission has to take. And since there are more than 6 months, away from the fresh election, the Lok Sabha elections, so there is a good possibility that the elections may be announced for Wayanad. Of course, Election Commission is not in a hurry, because they are also allowing some time, I think, to see whether Rahul Gandhi gets a relief. If his conviction is stayed, he'll be back in the House as a member, as it happened in the case of the Lakshadweep Member of Parliament.
Shekharji, thank you so much for that. And some disturbing news coming out of Karnataka. Since we started from Karnataka, there are many colleges in the Udupi area, because REC started there, then they have Manipal Institute of Technology. All these things have led to a rise of a lot of colleges. In one such college, 3 Muslim women, this is a girls' college, 3 Muslim women have installed spy cameras, essentially in Hindu girl toilets. And they have filmed hundreds of girls taking shower, using the toilet, what have you, and they have shared it with some Muslim boys. You know what the government has done, or the college administration has done? They've just suspended them. I mean, these kinds of things are abhorrent. How can you even think of that? What if the reverse had happened? By now, Obama will be asking questions. And just merely suspending that, I actually am reading the Kannada story itself, because there's a link, and I'll tell you, it's a tv9kcanada.com that has released it, and all it says is Mooru Vidyarthigana suspend. That means essentially all they have done is suspend these 3 people. There you go. You can see the thing. मैं कैमरा में छिपा कर लगाया और वायरल कर दी हिंदू छात्राओं की आपत्तिजनक वीडियो. And hundreds of Hindu girls are contemplating suicide right now. This is Udupi. This is Congress government. This is the great secular government. And you want to rule the country. What do you want to do? Run a pawn shop in every college, Mr. Rahul Gandhi. Sir, very, very sad, sir. This. I thought it might be something, more drastic, that something will happen. But if you are going to divide the country along religious lines, there is no end to it, sir.
Indeed, very shocking at a time when all of us are gripped by the revelations coming from Manipur, and then followed by revelations from West Bengal, Rajasthan. And this is a completely a different case altogether, but the complicity of some of these girls in getting this camera installed, and this is quite shocking, very, very shocking, I must say, Shekhar.
Sir, they want to deliberately set themselves apart. This is the problem. I'm telling you, Muslim girls and Muslim brothers and sisters, you are trying to deliberately set yourself apart from the mainstream. This is not going to work good for you. Already you have several situations where you are using Hindu names, Hindu god names in your hotels and trying to pass off. And when somebody accidentally used, not accidentally, he used his UPI access, then he finds out the owner's name. Lies. Sir, the thing is, there is going to be divisions in the, there are going to be divisions in the society if this kind of attitude persists. Suspension doesn't even cut the surface. I don't know what it is. They should have been at least dismissed with because this is knowingly doing it. First of all, illegally taking video without somebody's permission is a crime, and then sharing it with, this is the Kerala story effect. If I don't know if you remember seeing that movie, Shekhar ji, Kerala story, one of the girls commits suicide. Same thing happens.
Yes.
Same thing happens. So sometimes these stories which are showing atrocities also plant new thoughts and ideas into people's mind. And this copycat crime, it is called. And these things will happen. But I don't know why mere suspension is enough. You have to really do something about it. So anyway, this is, I thought I'll just share it with you. Guys,
Yeah, but it's on
please.
it's on the Twitter. It's on the Twitter, and no, probably these girls who are now being accused of indulgence in this act could be could have been pressurized or blackmailed by people outside who have got them to do this, because
Out
this
with the
is not a
truth.
simple case.
Yeah, out with the truth. How can you do
Yes,
this? Sir, for the sake of privacy, I have not mentioned the name of the college. I have not mentioned the name of the three girls. I have all that stuff. And I'm just being sensitive because in India, we respect our women. It doesn't matter from a child of 6 months to a lady of 80 years. We have utmost respect for our women. And I'm just not showing that. I'm just telling what happened because these kinds of things are terrible, terrible. I mean, all this to just win an election and do what? What the heck have you done, Mr. Siddaramaiah? What do you know about governance, Rahul Gandhi? What do you know about governance, Sonia Gandhi? Anyway, just my 2 cents, sir. Let's go on to the next story.
yes, sir. I think with this, of course, this bit about information that's coming about Sonia Gandhi is also shows as to will the next parliament go without a representation from the Gandhi family?
About
Because
time.
that is why this Sonia's, you know, I don't know what is the exact response, but definitely I think they would have sounded her out, and Siddaramaiah utilized the occasion of a presence in Bengaluru for that opposition meeting to moot this idea, rather to broach her with this proposal, which I think she would have definitely appreciated, because this is taking into consideration their great desire to keep the 10 Janpath, because that's a huge house. And if the situation comes in 2024, it is very difficult for either Priyanka Gandhi to win or for Rahul Gandhi to win. I think, I mean, we are not even talking about how and why the Congress itself has to win at least 200 seats to be taken seriously for the next formation of any alternative alliance. A point that we have often made on this channel, and we have often explained to our viewers how for any successful alliance, you need three things: one, a big party which serves as an anchor, and number two, a visible face, a visible leadership, and number three, at least some kind of congruence of ideas, some kind of coherence of thought, and some kind of a, of course they commonly goes by common minimum program, but more than common minimum program, some kind of an ideological some understanding. So because what is common between Congress and Mamata today, or what is common between Aam Aadmi Party and Congress today? So these are the three factors that will again come up when they meet in Mumbai, which I have told that the meeting could be held after August 15. And this time the host will be Sharad Pawar and Uddhav Thackeray. And well, they will have to provide the logistics and other things. That should not be a problem, because there are a number of patrons who would come to do this kind of providing facilities and arrangements. Now that neither NCP nor the Congress nor the Shiv Sena UBT is in power. But the important point is, sir, if the major one thing is clear: the NCP is split as we are seeing it today. It is even a last attempt was made when you had Ajit Pawar and other leaders going to Sharad Pawar. That is on July the 17th, the day before the opposition meeting in. Now we are also hearing that by the time this is held in Mumbai, they would probably come with the names who would be part of that 11-member committee, which will be kind of a sort of a politburo. Yeah, I mean, to use a leftist terminology, CPM has politburos. So a politburo could come into being, or a steering committee could come into being, and we will get to see who make it, who will be a convener. And the whole idea is to give Sonia Gandhi an enlarged role. She would, just as she was chairperson of the United Progressive Alliance (UPA). Here also the idea is that now that the Sonia Gandhi has taken charge and she is in the forefront to lend more credibility, lend more seriousness to this whole opposition effort, she could be made some kind of a chairman. I'm told that can happen probably next month when this alliance meets in Mumbai. So, but before then, there should no other party should leave the alliance, because we have seen that you know what has happened after Patna meeting and then post Patna meeting. After we saw in Bengaluru, where Bengaluru itself, the name itself became a problem, the acronym became a problem. People were saying, how do we? And then people are raising legal issues, whether it is will this become a matter of legal dispute, whether a political combination can be named after India if you remove all the dots. So I think because then, sir, very interestingly, Shreyaji, the race for taking credit for this name, when there is a lot of criticism within these alliance partners, because initially it was attributed to Rahul Gandhi. But then I saw the other day the DMK party organ Murasoli has given credit to MKS, that is MK Stalin. They had a huge write up saying that it is MK's idea. Then there were others who were saying, when Stalin is not so proficient in English, and then languages is not his area, whether it is Tamil or English, languages is not his area of great felicity. Rather, he manages with his very simple style, which tries to reach out to very common people. So how could have MK style thought of this such a big concept? Though Supriya Srinath, the Congress spokesperson, on record said it is Rahul's idea. And I'm told in the deliberations also, so Mamata, picked it up and said, "Oh, it's a great idea," and she was gaga over it and saying, "This is it, India versus Modi, India versus NDA," and things like that. Though there were people, skeptics like Nitish Kumar and Uddhav Thackeray, who all said, "Look, this will not do. We will have problems, particularly in our areas where and Bihar and Hindi heartland. You can't start your campaign with saying India versus Modi and things like that." That's why Uddhav Thackeray has said there should be a tagline, "Jeetega hi Bharat," and probably somehow the Bharat will stick into India now. I mean, I.N.Di.I.A. Somehow it will come in there. I don't know in what year, but so it's already you are seeing for the task for the post August 15 meeting of this alliance is going to be very keenly watched as to see what are going to happen. One meeting you saw one alliance partner break up, that is NCP after Patna. The second meeting saw coming up with an acronym as the new name of the opposition alliance, where there are several people taking credit. Sir, and the third thing very interesting that is happening is during the meeting, of course, that meeting avoided discussing seat adjustment at the national level. In fact, there is going to be no seat level at the national level. There will only be a state level thing, which will be left to individual satrap who is the powerful, who calls the shots, whether it is Mamta in Bengal or uh, whatever is left of arrangement in Maharashtra, maybe Sharad Pawar, or in Tamil Nadu it will be Stalin. Now, I am now told in that meeting in Bangalore, where Mamata said, "Look, each of us will be prime minister candidate in our respective states. That's how we can garner more votes. We can convince voters to pick us, so that we have a good chance of becoming PM." And Stalin apparently seconded the idea, saying, "Look, So what we are seeing after this Bengaluru meeting, in Calcutta the very next day after Mamata landed in Kolkata, a TMC MP, Shatabdi Roy, actress turned member of parliament, she said, yes, এটা খুব ভালো.
Sir,
This is
how
a good
many
chance for
actresses have become MPs, sir? How many actresses have become MPs in Bengal? Mind
2019.
blowing.
She gave at least four of them. She made them because 2019 was a big challenge for her. She thought BJP would dent her image by putting up people, and in fact BJP won 18 seats from Bengal
Yes.
in 2019, and that was a very big thing. So, coming to this thing that already they have started declaring, yes, Mamta is the, because it was also pointed out, Kharge has already said we are not interested in Prime Minister's post as a kind of a tactical retreat. Now, Trinamool leaders have been since then openly saying it is Mamta as PM. Now, seeing those headlines, I saw some DMK leaders also saying, why not Stalin as PM? The parties which are having
Sir,
under their control.
how will he communicate with the people, with the members of the cabinet, with the bureaucracy? I don't think he knows sign language, sir.
Well, sir, why go thus far, sir? All these leaders have only 40 seats. Mamata has 42 seats. Tamil Nadu, if you include 39 plus 1 Pondicherry, it becomes 40 seats. So, therefore, leaders with 40 seats, it's like, last year we saw KCR hopping, he was state capital, he was hopping between state capitals. And when the total number of seats from Telangana is only 17, even if KCR wins all the 17 seats, for assumption's sake, with 17 seats, what can he do, sir? But they are all inspired by Deve Gowda becoming prime minister.
With 11
Because
seats.
yes, in the 96. So, if that can happen, why not one of us? But
Sir, if
Mamta is, you cannot dismiss the TMC's, now proclamation of her as the prime minister candidate, because things can get serious. I mean, because they are saying why not, and there were a lot of smiles among members of parliament of Trinamool Congress saying why not? This is the best thing, and they keep saying পশ্চিম বঙ্গ থেকে কেউ হয়নি, মানে nobody from West Bengal has ever become prime minister. This is a good chance, but then there are a lot of others, sir, outside Bengal like you and me. They shudder to hear the name of Mamata as prime minister candidate and prime minister. Suppose if that day were to come, the whole India would become Sonar Bangla. The Sonar Bangla is a distant dream of every Bengali worth his fish. So you can see that
what
how
is
the
fish?
dreams
I
are
like
being
that.
how the dreams are being sold. But the whole idea is, sir, the fact that the Kharge's statement, Mallikarjun Kharge's statement was intended to calm fears among opposition leaders. Whether the whole idea is to project, whether the Rahul Gandhi will make a backdoor entry, if not a front door entry as a prime minister candidate. So that's the worry why Kharge had to say, look, we are not for this, we are not for that. But then definitely, if Congress were to do very well and the situation comes where it will be Congress taking claim, that then definitely Congress would insist on its one of its leaders becoming prime minister candidate, and why not Rahul Gandhi? If by then he doesn't have a legal issue and if there is no problem and he has got relief from this case that has been bothering his future. Shreyarji.
Thank you so much, Shekharji. I want you to walk down memory lane and tell us what really happened, sir. I was in Bengaluru. We were starting our India operations, fairly infant stage, 5-6 people working there. And at that point of time, a good friend of mine, I shall not name him, was a very close friend of Deve Gowda. And he had an office, and we used to we are subleasing from him, and we were using some portions for our work. And what used to happen, Sarji, was first Janata Party came to power. Janata something name came to power. And Hegde said that he will not contest the CM's post. But when it came to anointing the CM, he tried his level best to scuttle Deve Gowda's candidacy and become the CM himself. That didn't work out. Finally, Deve Gowda becomes CM. But that time leading up to it, I used to see, we used to work late. And this is the place where most of the MLAs used to meet. The MLAs are not just the winning party. The losing side also used to come and meet. Everybody will have chai, samosa. You know what used to happen? They will speak in English. So I could even eat, I mean, not that I can't follow Kannada. They will speak in English where, supposing it's a losing party, say Congress, they will come and say, look, I have this property, this property, this property, this property, this property. All these things, I want to keep it. And this guy will say, no, 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 you have to give me this, this. They are basically doing bargaining. Then finally, the number. In the number, both are asking how much black, how much white. These were the lawmakers. And those days it used to be 80% black. Real estate was 80% black. No, you have to show something in front of the registrar, so you put 20% white. So this is, he becomes chief minister, 96, I think. And then within 12 months, he became prime minister. I remember that. And the first inkling that he might be a prime ministerial candidate came to through this friend of mine who was sort of like he was an entrepreneur plus Jyotishi. So they will ask him also, when should I leave the party? Should I stake the claim? This, that, all that stuff. So walk down the memory lane. How the heck did somebody with 11 MPs defeat somebody with 16 MPs, which is Karupaya Moopnar, with a proven record of being at the center, troubleshooter? He used to manage Congress party quite well. How did this guy pip that guy?
Well, sir, originally the idea was, the proposal was made to Jyoti Basu of West Bengal.
Yes.
But then his party did not allow him to take, to accept that offer. Otherwise, because
if it was Indira Gandhi, he would have broken the party and said, I am the prime minister. Everybody who wants to join me.
So, but Jyoti Bapu, being that a communist leader made in UK, as in India, so he was that sophisticated person who felt, of course, he was hurt. Jyoti Babu was very hurt that his party did not let him accept this historical moment, which later, and Somnath Chatterjee was totally backing him, who later became Lok Sabha speaker. He was also a veteran Marxist parliamentarian, and but the party said no, and particularly the party central committee, which is the most powerful organ of the party, they said no, nothing doing. And so that is how, which later became, which even Jyoti Babu called it as a historic blunder, that the CPM did not accept this offer. Then the question was, who should be the next? Apparently, I am told that Karunanidhi was not in favor of Moopnar becoming prime minister. Then the language was also mentioned as a problem, communication, because Moopnar.
But then okay English, sir. I mean, he speaks accented English. I have an accent.
No, Moopnar, because Moopnar would have been like Kamraj, because Kamrajar also was, more than accepting saying few words like Parkalam, which became his signature response to any situation.
Yeah.
We shall see. So when it came to Moopnar, I am told that Karunanidhi was not keen. Anybody should be from Tamil Nadu because, sir, that is the reason why Karunanidhi, if you recall, sir, both in UPA 1 and UPA 2, when Prime Minister Manmohan Singh asked him, we are appointing governors, do you have any veterans from your party to be appointed? Karunanidhi said, no, I don't want anybody from my party to be governors. Why? The joke in Chennai used to be because he didn't want his party members becoming governor and making frequent visit to Chennai and going around with that car, hooting siren and that red light, atop the car. He didn't want that. It should be reserved only for the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. So he didn't want anybody else in his party to feel. So that is why when Amit Shah recently, when he said, when he addressed a workers' meeting outside Chennai, where he said, look, this is a good opportunity that definitely one day a person from Tamil Nadu will become prime minister. And he said there were occasions when people from Tamil Nadu could have become prime minister, but they were prevented. So obviously Amit Shah had in his mind the case of Moopnar, the Moopnar who missed the bus. Of course, Karunanidhi never accepted it as a historic blunder, like Jyoti Babu felt that this was a historic blunder. When things were offered, we did not accept. So That is why, and in the 96 government, sir, what we saw was CPM refused to participate in the government but provided outside support. But CPI was in the government. You had Inderjit Gupta as Home Minister under Deve Gowda, with Deve Gowda as Prime Minister. But then I'm told Lalu, then of course Mulayam was keen, but then Lalu was not keen that Mulayam should get that post because they were also same
Rivalry.
Janata Parivar. So that is how the astrologer who had predicted Deve Gowda that he will be prime minister one day, he will occupy the top post, that his words came true. But subsequently, Deve Gowda made several trips to that astrologer. I am told that astrologer is based in Srirangam. And very frequently, I have heard Deve Gowda going to Srirangam to visit the Ranganatha Swami temple and offer his prayers and meet this astrologer. I am told. That's what I am told. So the astrologer did not want to say that that chapter is over, that 𝙒𝙖𝙪 is over, that dasa is over. He kept saying, no, there is one more chance. I think that is something which he kept nurturing the hope. Of course, now his health is such, he knows that it is difficult, and given the condition of his party, after the Muslims completely withdrew support from Janata Dal Secular and gave it to, offered complete support to the Congress, it has been difficult for JDS. But Kumaraswamy is doing a fantastic thing, sir. He has a lot of contacts in the administration in Bengaluru, in the state government. He has been getting some juicy details as to how the Congress meter is down. Just as you get into an auto in Chennai or Bangalore or Delhi or somewhere, even before the first
meter is down means meter has started. Go ahead, please go ahead.
Yes. So that he has been, Kumaraswamy has been making some revelations which the BJP is enjoying in full. For instance, it was Janata Dal Secular and Kumaraswamy who exposed your AICC General Secretary in charge of Karnataka, Surjewala, being present in a Bangalore your BBMP meetings, municipal corporation meetings,
What's the
with
need for him?
all the contractors and others and engineers.
Yeah.
So that time question was asked, why is he present? Now the Kumaraswamy is carrying a pen drive in his pocket, sir. And he often shows that pen drive. He says that pen drive has all the details of the rate card fixed by Siddaramaiah government for execution of projects, for execution of deals. And he says this is all details.
But he will not release it.
No, he says it will be released as and when required. And the compilation, at least the first lot of compilation, and everybody is willing to believe Kumaraswamy on this rate card business because they think Siddaramaiah DKS would not have wasted a single moment after taking oath to fix such rates. This is
God knows they have spent a lot of money too.
yeah, so that is the buzz in Bangalore. And because somehow Kumaraswamy is, and the person to openly support Kumaraswamy is Yeddyurappa. Yeddyurappa says Kumaraswamy is right. The details he has is completely authenticated. So
show the
you
pen
can
drive. There you go.
So you can see all the time he is holding that pen drive, which he often fishes out again, puts it back in pocket. I don't know when he is going to release it.
Well, that was fun memory, fun trip down memory lane. But then in '97, when it was the turn of Deve Gowda to step down, did that time also Moopnar throw his hat in the ring? Like, for example, instead of 𝗖𝙧𝙤𝙀𝘀 Gujral?
No, sir. I think, sir, the circumstances surrounding Deve Gowda's exit, that is because he was a running battle between him and Sitaram Kesari, who was the Congress president.
Right.
And there is a background to it. There is a background to it because there was one Dr. Tomar, a doctor who was attached with one of the central government hospitals. He was part of the CGS service, the central government health service. And that doctor is to frequent acquaintance of Sitaram Kesari. And sometimes Kesari used to send him on some errands involving financial matters. It seems apparently Kesari had sent him on a mission to probably organize funds or collect funds from a particular source. And apparently the doctor did not account for all that he should have been able to procure or organize, or something went missing somewhere. And Kesari was quite upset. So Kesari told his men to just find out where are those promised amounts and who has siphoned it off or find out. So the people who were asked to find out from Dr. Tomar as to the whereabouts of that fund, this is what I hear from some of the CBI officials who were initially asked by Deve Gowda to investigate the case. Now the case was this: the boys who were deployed by Kesari to find out from Tomar, I don't. They probably roughed him up, and then he was dead in a very mysterious circumstances. And his wife was a bank employee. I think she was an Allahabad bank employee. Her name was Kaveri Tomar. She was also a frequent visitor to Kesari's house. Then she subsequently started suspecting foul play and said, something happened to my upset. And then later his body was found, mutilated body was found in different parts. Now this story, one doesn't know what is there are a lot of I would say gaps in the story, missing points in the story. But Rajesh Pilot got hold of it. Rajesh Pilot, along with Sharad Pawar, had challenged Kesari in the Congress elections. Kesari won the election because he was supported by Sonia Gandhi. But the other challenges were, one was Sharad Pawar, another was Rajesh Pilot. Now, Rajesh Pilot got a hold of a letter from Kaveri seeking an inquiry into her husband's mysterious death. Rajesh Pilot took the letter to Deve Gowda. This is what Deve Gowda told me. Subsequently, Deve Gowda told me that Rajesh Pilot came to me with a letter seeking a CBI inquiry into this mysterious case. Because of this couple's association with Kesari, Kesari got worried whether they are trying to implicate him in something. And then you saw a very funny situation, sir. We were covering those period, and Kesari's house was located in Purana Killa Road. So what would happen every time you would hear is something is happening, and all that Deve Gowda did, as he told me, he sought a preliminary inquiry into the matter and he sent it to the CBI director. This triggered so much of tension in Kesari. Every evening, sir, Kesari would sit in his car and then he would make a round of the India Gate, Delhi's India Gate. It would appear he is going to Rashtrapati Bhavan with his letter announcing the withdrawal of support to the Deve Gowda government. And all of us were alert. And I remember those days I preferred a two-wheeler to keep track of Kesari's vehicle because he would come out and go. And every day, every night it would be full of, tension whether the support will be withdrawn today. But finally, one day I got the indication that Kesari was going to do something because he was hopping mad that CBI would register case and they would name him as or they would question him in that case. One night, sir, he decided, it was one morning, I think, he sought an appointment and went and gave the letter, withdrew support. And incidentally, since I had spoken to Kesari 2 days before that, and I knew he was going to do it, and those days I was covering the Congress for the Hindustan Times. I was working in Hindustan Times then, and I wrote my story, which was, banner story, Congress to Deve Gowda. And 2 days later, it actually happened. Of course, my newspaper was very happy that we broke the story. And fortunately, my editors took the story on the front page. And that evening, with television crews, sir, those days the live coverage was not easy. The technology and today, no need of OB vans and all that. They just carry a small thing and it goes via satellite. Now, every time his vehicle would leave his house, people would wonder where he is going. People would say he's going to Janpat to meet in Sonia Gandhi. And it will make a round of that house again, come back to Puranakila, where he used to stay. But one day it went to Rashtrapati Bhavan, and it happened. So after that, they were looking for a leader who would be, that Kesari started calling shots. He said, I don't want any leader like Deve Gowda to become a prime minister. Then it was settled on I.K. Gujral was seen as gentleman of politics. And that is how I.K. Gujral became the prime minister.
Sir, one thing I have to tell you.
I'm saying all this from my first-hand experience of all that happened in 97.
Sir, I have to tell one story for viewers. Viewers, you will know this story from if you have watched my series of Dr. Swami Remembers Prime Ministers. It comes in an episode on Deve Gowda, but I want to repeat it here. Hey, listen, you guys have to like this. We are giving you some juicy stories. So what used to happen was, Deve Gowda is camped in Delhi. He wants to know if he is going to become the prime minister. So what he was doing was he was staying with Dr. Swami because they are both from Janata Party. And he He doesn't know what's going to happen. Somebody will come, somebody will go this way, that way, left, right, straight. So he used to ask the cook, can you get me some tea? Can you get me some tea? So he used to drink like 10 to 12 cups of tea every day, I believe. And then suddenly one day he becomes the prime minister, and the cook asks Dr. Swami, "Chai wala PM ban gaya? ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है?" So this man was a tea drinker. On the other side, I.K. Gujral used to spend the whole day at ICC, International Cultural ICC. I don't know what it means, but he would keep International Cultural Center, annex building, new one,
India
really
International
nice.
Center. Sorry, India International Center.
IIC, India International Center, drinking coffee, cup after cup, cup after cup, cup after cup, coffee. And one day, Harkishan Singh Surjit drives up to IIC and says, "Okay, get ready. You go with me. You are the PP. You are the Prime Minister now." Oh my God! At least think about it, guys. Today, at least there is a semblance of some sort of a majority and a leader who's accepted by the masses. You didn't know who was going to become the Prime Minister on which day. It was such a hilarious thing. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
No, sir, but again, all these opposition leaders they are waiting for the return of 96. They are waiting for this 96. That is why this India, Jeetega hi Bharat, the tagline which Uddhav Thackeray is proposing. I mean, yes, Uddhav Thackeray is proposing. But then you can already see if every leader, a regional satrap or a regional leader is going to, seek vote saying that I could be the prime minister candidate. But sir, I don't think people will like that period, 96 to 98. And then again, people saw from what happened from, the coalition under Vajpayee, which was 98 to 2004. It also had terrible challenges. You saw within a year, 99, Jayalalitha insisted on that our income taxes cases should be closed, which Vajpayee said we cannot do like that. Then she withdrew support because she was promised that if she supported an alternative arrangement, uh, this would be done. But then there were some problems, and finally, the Vajpayee lost by a single vote because Congress summoned Girdhar Gomang, who was the Chief Minister of Odisha, who had not yet resigned his seat, Lok Sabha seat. He voted. That is how Vajpayee lost. Of course,
and he comes
and
totally
then you had
drunk, can
their
hardly
elections were
stand on his
called.
feet.
Yeah,
Sir,
the elections were. Yeah,
he
and
comes to the parliament totally drunk. Sorry, let me finish, sir. He comes to the parliament totally drunk, and those days you have to press a button to make sure that your vote got registered. And I don't know who pressed the button for him or if he did it on his own, energy. But please go ahead, sir. I will stop now.
No. See, sir, that when the government Vajpayee lost by a vote, and general elections were called. That is the time when Kargil happened.
Yes.
Incursions in Kargil happened. Then there was a Kargil war. The election was put off to October. And with Jayalalitha's exit, DMK walked in.
Correct.
And Jayalalitha was upset that she withdrew from a situation where she was, even to get the support. Sir, 98 was very painful years. For all those who think, coalition era is the best answer to the present regime, they must recall what happened in 98. Jayalalitha refused to send her letter of support to Vajpayee. Jaswant Singh went, George Fernandez went.
Modi went.
And then
you're forgetting Modi, sir. Modi also used to be a go-between.
So she refused to send a letter because she was insisting fulfillment of these conditions. So we have seen those difficult years, and then 99 onwards, the period from 99 to 2004. That was a period where I think they managed the NDA, but then there were recalcitrant allies like you had Mamta. Mamta used to, she resigned once on that coffin gate issue. Then subsequently, she kept on threatening to resign because on price rise. I mean, those days it required the, I would say, sagacity of Vajpayee. It required diplomacy of 𝗼𝘂𝗍𝙑 Advani. It required, and of course, not to mention George Fernandez, who was the NDA convener. Then you had Jaswant Singh playing a big role in that, trying to soften these people, and of course Sudhindar Kulkarni, who was then Vajpayee's kind of a special aide. He used to keep in touch with Mamta. I mean, we have seen that era, and that era, of course, despite that, I must say, NDA one did a lot of work. Your quadrilateral highway project, the emphasis on infrastructure, several changes. The whole idea we have seen is whenever NDA has been power, the effort has been to bring changes. It was quite a difficult time, sir. And in '98, the first thing what the Vajpayee did was, as soon as he came to power, they implemented the Pokhran. They conducted the test. That was a very big challenge. And as promised in the BJP manifesto, the first decision was to go for nuclear test, which Narasimha Rao wanted to, but somehow the big powers came to know and they throttled it. Now, I mean, when I look back at those period and now today, well, I do not know whether people of India would like to go back. Of course, we have had generations who have not seen any other prime minister other than Narendra Modi. But it is important we recall the period, the coalition period, particularly the kind of alliances we had. There were set of alliances at one time which was all directed against Congress. Then subsequently we saw alliances to somehow, all post-poll alliances, because NDA was also a post-poll alliance. Now today what you are seeing is the Congress for the first time taking the initiative for a pre-poll alliance. This what we are seeing as India or INDIA, whatever. So these are challenges in that. And I kept asking Deve Gowda, sir. I said, what were you doing that Kesari felt so upset? He says, I don't know, brother. I don't know. I only sent it, marked it for P, preliminary inquiry. But then, brother, I don't know, Sitaram case. And then, sir, it is very interesting for, if you want to see how Deve Gowda, when he had to resign, then he addressed the Lok Sabha. That
Oh, yes.
speech of Deve Gowda, that
Yes, yes,
in his own style, he used to say, an old man in a hurry, referring to
yes.
Sitaram Kesari.
Very, very beautiful speeches. Vajpayee's resignation in '96 after 13 days. 1992, P.V. Narasimha Rao's defense of the reforms, where he uses Sarvanashe Samutpanne. This is a phrase from one of the Upanishads. I think Manduka Upanishad, if I remember correctly. And even Bhajpa guys were wondering, what did he just say? What he meant was that when the entire kingdom is going to go away, a wise man will give up half and preserve half for himself for a better future. Words to that effect. Jairam Ramesh, at that time, he used to be, I think, OSD for P.V. Narasimha Rao. He understood it because he probably wrote that. See, some of the really good brains in INC, I'm just wasting away, in my opinion. These are all people who can do much better than what they're actually doing. Anyway, long story short, guys, we have gone down memory lane. We are back to the front. This is what's going to happen if this Khichdi becomes, the majority party. So we'll leave it at that. Let's take a few questions now. Ishan Sharma wants to know, sir, is 400 plus a reality now for NDA, 350 plus for BJP? Do you think the MY combination will break up the LS in UP and Bihar? Muslim Yadav, I think, considering how Islamized SP and RJD have gone. Same with JDU in Kuri and Kurmi.
Well, you see, the Prime Minister's, he has fixed a target, which is a very open thing. In fact, other day when he addressed the NDA, Prime Minister made it very clear he wants an enlarged mandate. The reason that NDA, he held a meeting with NDA and some new people have been brought in. The whole idea is an enlarged mandate. Because the Prime Minister himself has told his cabinet colleagues, his ministers, that he has no doubt as to people reposing faith in him again. But it is not for the just 272. Because in 2014, you saw that Boji, after 30 years, leading a party to majority, full-fledged majority in 2014. And 2019, that figures went up. They got 289 in 2014, it went to 303 or 305, I think, in 2019. Now, Modi wants that the 2024 mandate should be larger than this. So that is why the coalition, sir, that is a difference, fundamental difference between this NDA under Modi and what these people are attempting, the opposition leaders. Here, they are trying to cobble up a mandate. As they say, the way you string flowers, one after நம்ம தமிழ்ல பூ கோக்குறதுமாங்களா அந்த மாதிரி they want to actually cobble up a mandate because they are not sure of individually getting that kind of mandate. That's an admission. Now, on the other hand, Prime Minister he has not minced words in saying he wants an enlarged mandate. An enlarged mandate means more than what is there. And second thing is, by bringing in more people, Prime Minister wants to prove that BJP is the first choice. It is not a compulsion that people are coming to BJP. Though opposition feels that in the absence, the Tina factor is working in favor of Modi, but Modi wants to show that it is on the basis of what he has attempted, the changes he has sought to bring, the changes he has already brought by his governance. Because he wants a positive vote with an enlarged mandate, and the figures they are talking of is at least we should keep 350 as our figure, but it has to be more than what we got last time. So there is a separate difference between this one and that one. And here, sir, again I repeat, this is going to be all daydreaming. They can meet all over India. Every month these opposition can
Bharat ka
gather.
darshan. Bharat
They can
darshan.
have, but they have to get the key for the Congress to win 200 seats, sir. And if they are thinking there will be a situation like 1977, when the groundswell of anger against Indira Gandhi after emergency was such, they didn't care who was the candidate against Congress. That's why the joke used to be that Vajpayee used to say, even Jayaprakash Narayan used to say, he was the person who was behind this opposition that quickly done alliance, that even a lamppost would have won against Indira Gandhi. That was the mood in 77. Now, is the Congress and these parties are thinking that is a great groundswell of anger which will burst in 2024? I don't see that kind of anger. Yes, there are sections which are terribly unhappy with Modi. Not today. They were unhappy right from 2014. Their anger got led to frustration in 2019. Now it's a kind of thing, what if he comes back? See, that's a kind of mood which you gets reflected, and every event, every developments, even every horrid event, even in Manipur, is seen in that light. Oh, this is because of him. This is because of his approach. So that kind of scenario people are looking at. So that is why this is going to be a very, very tough situation. Of course, these four assembly elections that everybody is looking at, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and Telangana, they can be a good indicator as to what is in store in 2024.
Thank you very much, sir. Next question, please. Pawan Kishore wants to know, Mamta for PM may not give the optimism for opposition. Will she be able to get the votes away from Bengal? The best option right now, at least to compete with BJP, is to go out with a PM face.
So, well, so they cannot agree on a PM's face. So that is why they are not going to project anybody. Kharge's, Suwamoto kind of a statement that, we are not fighting this election for coming to power. We don't want this prime minister's post. That is for a simple reason so that all parties are able to stick together. But a parliamentary election would need a face. I mean, people are again referring to situation of 77 when there was no opposition face. There were stalwarts in the opposition. You cannot compare the leaders of today to the stalwarts who were there in the opposition in 77. I mean, you had names like Morarji Desai, Sharad Singh, George Fernandez, Atal Bihari Vajpayee. I mean, all these were all luminaries of opposition who had spent several years in the opposition benches. Today, that is not the situation. So, I do not see without a face how will they manage. So, and the key to the whole thing is Congress has to get 200 seats up. That's the only way you can see a situation where Modi does not return as prime minister.
We'll wait and see. Next question, please. Magdad Ranga wants to know, Namaskaram, all plans are okay, but how long do they expect the alliance to stay? AAP walked out on one single issue and returned only after they had it their way.
Well, I think, sir, now the reason Mamata and Aam Aadmi Party are, they do not want to anymore be seen as opposing Congress or Congress idea is, I think they also fear whether their support among the minorities will slide. Because somehow they get a feeling, even Mamata gets the feeling, that the Muslim votes are somehow now, it's more with the Congress. They would rather back the Congress than any other party. that's the reason why I have reasons to believe that Mamta, willing to swallow a lot of things and come and be by the side of Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, and in the company of Sitaram Yechuri. I mean, otherwise she would not do that. So therefore, that's a problem. So, but definitely, I think, I don't know. Of course, the Mamta's argument is, unless I say in Bengal that a vote for me gives me an opportunity to become prime minister, the people of Bengal will not get enthused. I mean, this is the line of argument she gives. Because in the last election, sir, if you remember the assembly elections 2021, Mamata went with the campaign line that Ami Banglar May, I am Bengal's daughter who is seeking your vote, and that worked, that struck chord with a lot of women voters who said, oh, here is Bengal's May, I mean Paschim Bengal May fighting BJP, a central party, a North Indian party. That helped her in 2021. So I won't be surprised if tomorrow or in the run up to the next Lok Sabha elections, posters come up hailing her as the prime minister candidate, of course within the confines of West Bengal.
Last two questions. Berlin, if this happened in Karnataka, then why Yeddyurappa and BJP in Kerala are not raising this issue? They want our votes but won't do anything for our sisters. Hindu girls in Kerala are migrating.
Well, I think the issue would now pick up steam because this is a very serious matter. As Shayerji, you have mentioned that TV9 has broadcast this. I think it's
Yes.
all over social media. And I think by tomorrow you can see a lot of reactions coming on this.
Yeah, it's about 4 hours old. This is about 4 hours old, so it's very breaking. I accidentally caught it, and then I said, "Well, it needs to be put out in an international forum." Ishan, thank you so much. Jai Hind, sir, please talk a bit about how the larger outliers like Stalin, Mamta Banerjee, and the Abdullah family from Kashmir can make a difference in the khichdi.
Sir, I do not expect Abdullah family to make any contribution, excepting they are they are good for the purpose of adding color to the gathering. But other than that, Stalin and Mamata, they if they can deliver maximum on the number of seats, Stalin from Tamil Nadu, because Tamil Nadu has 40 seats if you include Pondicherry, and Bengal has 42 seats. So these two states can together add up to. But then this is not the full picture because you need Maharashtra 48, and Sharad Pawar is not in a position to deliver much from Maharashtra. And Uddhav Thackeray, less said the better because he was always in alliance. He has never contested elections alone. And whatever you have seen of Shiv Sena today were all achieved under the alliance with BJP. Now in a new alliance, they have to face elections, and Uddhav Thackeray with the bulk of the party with Eknath Shinde, it's a quite challenge for Uddhav Thackeray.
Next question, please. Varun, thank you very much. Christian conversions in every state, will it affect BJP's future?
Well, I mean, if statistically speaking, it may not be so visible, but definitely there are groups which are opposed to the BJP, and you can see that in the Northeast. You can see it in other states also, and they are always out to make issue and try to see that. Look, they're bringing up issues like involving freedom of religion and things like that. These are done by those groups which are very keen. I mean, to see that it is not a smooth sailing for Modi. That is why the campaign that are being run and the whole timing of these issues that are coming up. And of course, we must all, we have to hang our head in shame as to what has happened in Manipur. But then the story from Bengal is also equally disturbing. I mean, as to
Yes.
the name of political violence, how women are subjected to all kinds of brutalities. Of course, Manipur is something that pains each one of us. I mean, we are not politicians, so we are not indulging in any waterboarding. But definitely, what has happened, the collapse of the system, and having served as a reporter in Imphal, sir, in the mid 80s, I do feel the pain for the simple reason that this society was never like this. Women always felt safer in Manipuri society because it's a society where the mothers and women play a bigger role in the local economy also. They run markets, they run small shops, and the lot of that is because the Manipur women are seen more entrepreneurial than the men. Now, given that kind of where women are very receptive, to see such episodes is really painful as to what has come over the people there. Why this colaveri? Why this mad fury at each other? I mean, this is so painful to, why is this happening? And why is it bursting forth like a volcano? All those pent up emotions, sir. And in many cases, the most horrible part is many cases it is women who are egging on their men folk to take action to for retribution. They are the ones who are preventing the army and security forces going in. Even today, there are visuals coming from Manipur where women are blocking reach out. Not allowing army vehicles to take relief to the other camp. This is a site where we used to generally think that women are the softer. With more mamata, with more compassion, but here it seems to even break this ethnic barrier.
Thank you so much, sir. And with that, we bring to a close today's. Oh, this is the last question. Rajendra Dubey wants to know, Shekhar sir, what are the chances of Congress in 2024? Will they match last Lok Sabha seats, maybe 53? Because I feel they may get less than 40.
Well, I think I will reserve my comment till these assembly elections are over in 4 states. Then one can, hazard a good political guess as to which direction the Congress would be moving.
Thanks once again, Shekhar ji. It was a wonderful tete-a-tete and a memory trip down memory lane. And we'll continue to bring with you all these things. See, Shekhar ji was right, the front and center in those days. That's why I like to draw upon his references, his memories as to what had happened at that point of time. Thank you once again, sir. Namaskar.
Thank you, Shreya ji. Thank you for having me.